Shalom all, and blessings to you all in the wonderful name of Yeshua. So today we're going to speak about what is the kingdom of God. In the first part, we spoke about what was the temple of the Creator. So there is a physical temple, but there is also a spiritual temple. So I suggest to you that there is a physical kingdom, but there is also a spiritual kingdom. We are going to be reading the scriptures through the eyes of Messiah and what he said. So we keep going back to John chapter 6, verse 63. It is the Spirit that gives life. I'm going to say that again. It is the Spirit that gives life. The flesh profits nothing. The words that I speak to you are spirit and they are life. So he's speaking spiritual things here. And we do have physical representations, but those things are temporary. We are focusing on the unseen. We're focusing on the eternal. Okay? So what is the kingdom of heaven? This is a hint to understand what the earth represents and what the heaven represents. Yeshua said in Luke 17:20 verse 21. Now when he was asked by the Pharisees when the kingdom of God would come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of God does not come with observation. I'm going to say that again. It does not come with observation. Nor will they say, see here and see there, for indeed the kingdom of God is within you. I read these verses so many times, but I did not have a knowing of what he's talking about. So just like in the first part, he refocused the temple being you, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you. So now he's refocusing us from the physical kingdom to a greater kingdom, which is the kingdom of heaven, which is in you. He's telling you it's in you. Are we going to listen to him? Or are we going to listen to all this extra that's going on all over the world? In Babylon. Let the Messiah speak. And I pray that the Father gives us sight, spiritually healing us from spiritual blindness to see what is behind the words. Once he started showing me what's behind the words, I realized that I had to really stop with the arguments with people who cannot see, because they have not been given the healing of spiritual sight. They can read the words, but they stop at the physical. They stop at the milk. They can't see what the spiritual side of the situations are. And that's why even critics and people who are just reading the words, they don't know him. They don't know what's really going on here. This kingdom that Yeshua is talking about is not one with regards to a place that they will say, see here and see there. Because this kingdom is not a physical one. For it will be seen when the Creator gives you spiritual eyes. But first you have to be healed of spiritual blindness. I know if I spoke to the old me, I'll be like, yes, oh, I know him. You know, I've went to church. I've went to the synagogues. I can say, I read about him. I know who he is and what he's talking about. No, I never knew him. Because I heard about him and I read about him, but I can't force myself or by my own pride or my own human intellect reach the Creator or understand the Creator. It has to be given to you. Yeshua was telling his disciples when they asked him, why does he speak in parables? He says, to you it has been given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. To them it has not been given. So critics and stuff out there have not been given to see what's behind the words. All they can focus on is the physical words, and they think they know what's going on. There's a whole different dimension to the scriptures. And I keep saying these things because this is really what I could not grasp before. I thought I knew. But reading does not mean you know the Creator. The Pharisees studied probably all their life the scriptures, right? And then the Messiah is standing right in front of their eyes, and they never knew him. They never knew who he really was. They never really had a relationship with the Creator, because that really shows something. There's a pattern in the scriptures. If the Creator really stood in front of us, would we really know who he is? Have we had that intimate relationship with him? I'm not talking about feelings. I'm not talking about feelings at all. I'm talking about a knowing, being one with him like he is with the Father. That's what I'm talking about. Not feeling. I'm not talking about knowledge. I'm talking about being one with him. He is with the Father. Okay? So now that we know what the important kingdom is, we start to focus on the physical shadow, because we start to look for the spirit of Antichrist in a very different way. So once we see what the kingdom is, we start to refocus away from the shadow, because everyone's thinking, hey, this Antichrist is coming to this kingdom, this physical kingdom. We keep looking to the Middle East. But if you are the kingdom, and if you are the temple, then where is the Antichrist going to be? Because remember something, it is also called a spirit of Antichrist. So while we're focusing on what's represented through the physical examples, the shadow, the temporary examples, have we not been given previously to see where the real spirit of Antichrist is sitting and what he is doing and who he is? This is going to blow your mind when you find out really who he is. Because the next topic is, who is the spirit of Antichrist? And after that, we will jump in briefly to what is his mark. And then we're going to go back to the beginning, which is Adam and Eve. So we start off at the temple, we go next to the kingdom, we go next to the Antichrist, and then we go to his mark, and then we start to understand what was happening in Genesis. Okay? I greet you all in the wonderful name of Yeshua. I say shalom to all of you. I pray that Father has his blessings upon you, and that he takes away the scales from our eyes, so he can actually show us his patterns and what he has always been speaking about behind the scriptures. So thank you so much for your time. And I really want to say that we love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Shalom.